Fans POV, coming to you from Baltimore, Maryland for Otakon 2013. To my left we have
Ricardo.
To my right we have
Jolly.
And I am Lee. So, first impressions.
Well, I mean, this is technically my second Otakon, so I was already wowed from the first one, for the first time I was been here. But coming here the second time, actually, it kind of blew away my impressions that I had already. I mean, Baltimore as a whole is beautiful. There's definitely a lot of stuff to do. It's very
There's a lot of stuff to do.
Oh
around
yeah,
the city.
yeah.
There is.
Like even if like you don't really want to stay at the con, there's definitely just you could walk down the waterfront and it's just gorgeous. So first impressions were just basically astounding. So.
My first impressions, kind of like these other two over here. This is my second time going to the con. Gotta say, always a good, even though it's the second time, very good thing. Two times. Always a good experience. Obviously expecting a lot of people to be there, which kind of goes with the territory with any con, but Otakon is just kind of on a different level. Expecting a lot of very good panels overall, which indeed there were. Expecting a lot of good shopping too because of the tremendous dealer's room and also all of the art potential that you have there as well, which were all met and or exceeded.
I mean, obviously, we kind of briefly touched on it, but like this, as far as like the city is concerned, like the city of Baltimore.
Is gorgeous. Actually, our hotel exceeded my expectations by quite a bit. We were on one of the very highest floors, and magically enough, we had a perfect view into Camden Yards. So if there had been a game, that would have been amazing. You could see the entire city out past the harbor even. I could probably see Delaware from our window. It was there was nothing obstructing anything. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive actually, and just being attached to the con was
very convenient.
Words can't describe the convenience. Instead of going in and out of a hotel and being outside and sweating to death, you're air conditioned pretty much the entire time that you're there. It does get a little bit warm in some areas, but that's just because of body heat. But you know what? It comes with the territory. But just being able to leave from the con, go right up the elevator, right back to your room, and pass out, you can't really beat that. So for those of you who haven't gone, try to get into the Hilton that's attached to the convention center.
Don't say that, they'll take all our rooms.
Oh no.
So would heat exhaustion and costume also be considered otakuing to death?
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, it's really like the one thing that is also kind of part of the happens at a con, which is more of a reason that like
Drink lots and lots of water when you go to Baltimore in August.
Yeah, it's
lots.
Yeah, if you don't at least have something to hire yourself, I can pretty much assure you that you're gonna have a bad time.
Blacking out, hospitals.
All kinds of unpleasantness that you don't want to have.
Yeah, dude, hospital con.
Are expensive. Don't go.
Hospital con isn't even worth visiting. So
food's not good either. Don't do it.
So. Aside from the city, like panels. I mean, was there any major panels that you guys definitely had that pointed out?
Take it away, Lee.
So.
Well, we did go to a lot of really interesting panels. Unfortunately, a lot of them are industry panels, which means we cannot film any of them for you, so no footage there. But we did learn quite a lot of interesting things from a lot of various companies. Expect a lot of good things from a lot of different people next year or the coming years. Lots and lots of things about to happen. My personal favorite is that a movie that I have been looking forward to having a live action remake has gotten a definite boost forward in its production, so someday soon that shall happen and I will be a very happy camper.
I was sitting next to a squealing fangirl the entire time.
I didn't squeal, I was very quiet.
Alright, then how about you? Was there one that you personally thought was really awesome?
The Aniplex panel was definitely good. Got a little bit more information there. Definitely some things coming for that, so keep your eyes peeled for that, internet. Besides that, something that she took me to, which was fantastic, if you're one for the nostalgia, was the 80s anime panel.
All of the mullets!
I could feel one growing right now, just remembering it. It was fantastic. What was another really good one? I'm just trying to think here.
You guys never did manage to go to your World War II panel again.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Time you guys got capped out.
Unfortunately, us at the Fans POV has been kind of not able to go to this World War II and anime panel. I would say 3 times. And in anime was first, there was MNX, then it was Otakon, and then now this. Karma,
Apparently
I guess.
history is really popular all of a sudden.
Hey, you gotta know your history in order to know your fandom. So, I mean, as far as myself, I mean, there wasn't any panels the first 2 days that I was like wowed upon that they haven't mentioned before, but I actually did go to a Ace Attorney panel on Sunday, which I unfortunately have left my camera.
I object.
I left my camera
I object to your panel.
So I can't even record what I went. But there was a lot of objections. There was a lot of weird cases that that kind of fit within the realm of the world, and a lot of spiky hair and coffee throwing. There is indeed a lot of coffee throwing. So,
speaking of cases and objections, how about Anime Parliament?
Yeah, big shout out to Anime Parliament for really having one
Big shout out.
really having one of their best closing cases I've seen in a very, very, very long time.
I would quite. Does Parliament qualify that as a filibuster? Because they kind of took over. And
It's more like a blockbuster, like a bunk. Like
It was quite a spectacular
I dare
production.
say a bunker buster, if you will.
There was quite a spectacular production at the end there.
Yeah, let's put it this way. So, long story short, we found out that it was not the meteorite that killed the dinosaurs. It was indeed a megalodon NATO. So there's that.
Be lucky we have not survived.
So beyond that, and dealer's room.
Lots.
That dealer's room.
Lots
and lots.
Like, I mean, just
so many things.
Just even walking through there, I mean, it wasn't even just like people setting up booths. Like we saw industries there, like, and we literally walked into.
They had big production bits where they would showcase, what would you call them, props from the shows.
Yeah.
That's
a good way to put it.
Which you don't really think of animes having props, but there were lots of props.
Yeah, I mean, there was Gundams galore. There was Sword Art Online cosplayers galore. They were literally packed into one small panel. There was, I mean, for anybody, basically any kind of fandom you have, they have it.
It is where your otaku fantasies will be fulfilled.
More or less, yeah.
You gotta be aware when you go to something the size of Otakon that the dealer's room is not the mom and pop shop of your other conventions. We were there for several hours, and I think we only got less than halfway through. We had to go back a second day to make sure we saw the rest of it.
It's that big.
This is the Tiffany's of dealer's room. It's like that. You go in there.
I do believe this is the Macy's on 34th Street.
Indeed, this is like legit. So, main events. I mean,
Masquerade. Unfortunately, we can't film that either because Otakon says so, but they do have really snazzy cameras. I'm sure you can find the footage somewhere on Otakon's website. But yeah, some really good skits this year. A lot of dancing. I was kind of surprised at the quality of all the dancing.
Oh yeah,
dancing is hit or miss.
Yeah, there was
a lot of hitting.
Professional. There was a lot of professional almost dancing, if you will, like interpretive, like.
There was definitely a lot of people who knew what they were doing.
Yeah. One main event that I actually literally stumbled my way into, I actually just got a chance to check out the TM Revolution Homemade Kasuku concert by complete accident and was completely blown away.
Best accident ever.
It was indeed the best accident ever. The fact that literally he hasn't been in Baltimore, hasn't been to Otakon in about 10 years, just shows how much like you know.
The jealous.
Yeah, that people really love like his music and what he does, and he almost teary-eyed say how much he enjoys being an ambassador for anime.
I've never heard a man say thank you so many times.
Yeah, there was so many arigatos that
he was having a really good time.
Yeah,
so
it was
everybody else.
It was so.
I can imagine how happy he must have been because the fans paid for those tickets, and without the fans, Otakon wouldn't have been able to afford to, whatever his rental fee for the show is, and then flying him over and all of his equipment and all of his people, and I'm sure there's a translator or two and whatever else is required with international bands set up, and that's a lot of money that you fans made happen. So congratulate yourselves. You did a really big thing to get him over here, and
oh yeah,
he clearly appreciated everything that you went through.
Yeah, from it was a complete hour of just non-stop energy. Like, my personal favorite was the opening theme to Soul Eater, and I completely lost it. and the last song he did was just a heavier version of Harder Sword, which for all you Rurouni Kenshin fans should have been there. It was definitely a huge thing.
It was fantastic.
And then he did a song with Homei Kazuku that was kind of like a rap rock kind of crossover, and it fit fantastically. So one thing obviously at a con that you definitely are going to see a lot is cosplayers. So what was your impression of the cosplays you've seen this year?
The flavor of the year was Attack on Titan. I have never seen so many skinned people ever. I don't know what the thing is with the Titans not having skin or having their muscles on the outside, but I think I've passed high school anatomy now. I'm good.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I knew that this was a popular anime, but just seeing how many Attack on Titan fans there are, it was kind of surprising, actually.
It almost felt like you're walking into a military academy half of the time. We just
there were a lot of people in uniform. Whatever their troop is called, there were lots of them.
Yeah, and Sword Art Online is still just as popular, so we saw a lot of those.
That's another flavor, but I didn't see quite as many of them as I saw skins or Titans or... The Titans are the skinned
Titans are the
Titans
dudes.
are the skinned ones. There were a lot of Titans.
All right,
I'm surprised we didn't have more casualties. I hear they eat people. Because, yeah.
But then again, there was a bunch of even then there was really a bunch of people who cosplay things that really I haven't seen or expected. I saw somebody walking around as the Mario from the old Bob Hoskins movie with the Super Scope.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And that was really funny. And my personal favorite that I've seen was him from Powerpuff Girls. And he
was
actually
fantastic.
And the fact that he spoke just like the show kind of creeped me out a little bit.
It was fabulous.
Don't even tell me. And me
We saw Tetsuo for all you old school fans. Tetsuo!
Yeah, hopefully there was no Kaneda, there was no Kira there, but either way.
I think he was getting some ice cold water.
The ice cold water guy was back in his cosplay, which is just no shirt. So
more tattoos.
You know what? Well,
he had some more ink.
That's definitely his cosplay. Then
Yeah.
he's become ink.
Everyone, make sure you bring your dollar for your ice cold water.
Yes, you must buy from him. I think the best way to sum it up is if you're a cosplayer, this is like your World Series, because the quality on some of these things is just unbelievable.
Well, your American World Series, because I have seen some Asian cosplayers. I can't necessarily pinpoint Japan, but Asian cosplayers, you have way too much time on your hands.
It's not fair.
It's gorgeous. You guys are
like this.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
I'm all the jealous.
Yeah, I would agree that this is actually this is actually the big one, the big event where
this is the American World Series. Yeah.
Yeah, where you see the top of the top cosplayers. Even the year of my first year, I've seen nothing but amazing detailed cosplayers. The fact that they were, put so much heart and effort into it, and trust me, the people
Real creativity too. We saw a Sharknado.
We did. We saw a Sharknado.
We saw a Sharknado walking around, presumably destroying things and eating people.
Yeah. All right. So ratings from 1 to 10.
Oh.
All right, here.
Drum roll, please. Considering going from this is only my second one, from the first one to this one, I got to give it at least a 9.5. I mean, there were some slight organizational issues on some of the lines in the morning, but forgivable considering how many people were there.
Especially now that we know the numbers.
Yeah, especially knowing that. Totally forgivable. But as far as everything else is concerned, definitely a solid 9.5.
Lines might have looked like a mess, but they moved really quickly. Everyone had the chops to get done the things that needed doing.
Absolutely.
So that was a bonus. But
and pretty good food at the convention center too, surprisingly enough.
Lots of the little cafeterias they said they set up on floors and in various corners. Not bad and fairly cheap. Really good cafeteria food.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely treat their con-goers very well. So how about you? What would be the number that you would give?
Oh, these go to 11.
All right. I mean, yeah. All right.
Yeah. No, they're. Except for weather, which we have no control over because humidity.
Except weather controlling superheroes.
Well, nobody shared with me. But yeah, humidity, I mean, you have to expect that in Baltimore in August on the water. But everything was good. There was not a single problem at all. No, really nothing went wrong. And even if you don't go to the con, the buildings, the city, you can probably go to a baseball game. Apparently there was a Jay-Z concert we were uninformed of. So you can do that too, on the rare occasion that he shows up. We went for a walk, I think it was Thursday night, just to go see what else was around the city because you can't drive anywhere with the Jay-Z concert.
Yeah.
And also setting up for the Grand Prix.
Oh yeah, there's a race. Any minute now, actually, right?
Yeah.
It's like this week or this weekend?
Next weekend.
Something. They're having a professional car race in Baltimore, so Baltimore, you guys are busy.
Good on you.
But can you imagine organizing all that like on the heels of Otakon and whatever came before Otakon and then living in Otakon?
Yeah.
Like you guys have chops that I doesn't chop like you. But yeah, there is not a bad thing in that city, and everywhere we walked, all the little bars, all the little restaurants, everything had those little chalkboards, Otakon sale, you know, lunch $5 or bring your costume, take a picture and get a free meal or something. Like everybody is really cool about having 50,000 nerds show up.
Very accommodating, I think is the best way to put it. Thanks, Baltimore.
Yeah, really, you guys go out of your way to make a bunch of nerds feel really special, so thank you.
Yeah, I mean, adding to that, I mean, my rating would actually be, well, if I had to give no number, it'd be infinity. But because just
That is a number. It goes on forever.
It goes on forever. It would have
Your
to be.
rating is pi. It never ends.
Well, that yeah. So my rating is pi. So it goes 3.14. Blah 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 blah.
I'm so mad I don't have like a whipped cream pie. Just pie.
Mostly because, like, as they said, like the entire city, like, just felt.
Open arms.
Yeah, like they really enjoy the fact that there's a bunch of people dressed in like weird things or simple things, or just things you've never seen before.
It's really nice to feel welcomed like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like even then there was like another thing going on at Baltimore. There was like Blipfest, which is like a
BitGen.
There was a what is it called?
Chiptunes concert.
Chiptunes concert, like a building over with a whole entire different set of nerds, and there was room for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody got along. It was kind of beautiful.
In fact, fan favorite from Fans POV, Chippercrit, was definitely playing there with his with Cheap Dinosaurs, which apparently from what I heard sounded amazing. There was Arm Cannon, which is, if for all you metalheads, it's a big deal. So there was a lot of people, from what I've heard, for that that played there. They did it with a lot of energy. So if anime really wasn't your thing, then the music is your thing. You definitely check that out. So there was always something available for everybody. Like there was a Jay-Z concert. There was a chiptune concert. There was, I believe, there was a football game going on at one point in time. I may be mistaken.
I think it was a baseball game. I don't know.
No, there was a.
It wasn't a baseball game.
It was a football game because I saw a bunch of Ravens fans.
Preseason stuff. Okay,
yeah.
There we go.
So
that explains the screaming at 4 in the bar.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I hope somebody won.
Okay, so one big thing before we kind of wrap this all up is there is actually news that I believe 2017 Otakon will be moving from the Baltimore Convention Center to Washington D.C. It won't be permanent. It would actually just so they could actually finish renovations and make sprucing up the convention center to accommodate big events like that. So the next time, like by 2017, we'll be in Washington D.C. for Otakon.
You know where in D.C.? Like
as far as
there an arena?
As far as what I've actually have read up on, or actually what we've actually looked up on, they haven't really specified a point yet, but you could be assured that as soon as we know, we'll definitely let you guys know as well. Like, trust me, so you don't have to worry about that. So,
I have one thing to make a side note on. If you're going to go in 2017, take the train. Do not drive in Washington, D.C.
Driving no bueno.
This concludes the public service announcement portion of the show.
The more you know.
All right. So, that being said, will you be coming back next year?
If time and money allow, absolutely.
How about our star? How about you?
Yay! Yeah. No. Time and money. I would like to not go to Washington, D.C., but if that's where Otakon is, knowing me, I'll end up following. Because it's not D.C., you're going to Otakon. So I suppose it cancels out. I personally am not a fan of the traffic in D.C., and I have yet to be there in several years of D.C. driving that they're not building something. There is so much construction, and I personally can't figure out what they're building, but it must be fantastic because it's been going on forever. But it makes the traffic less pleasant than it could be.
All right, so I'll take that as a yes.
To Otakon, yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
I
Didn't mean to tangent.
I definitely will be coming back next year, just on the sheer fact alone that it blew my mind from every single thing that went on over there. So even now to the, I forgot to mention the fact that somebody put bubbles inside the fountain next to the waterfront, and people were jumping in.
Best bubble bath ever.
Apparently, people were just really jumping into it, and what way to really cause ruckus by bubbles.
Oh, you know what they should have done? And I shouldn't encourage any of you, so don't do this. We're on camera, don't do this. But if the ravers had all gotten into the bubbles and all you saw was lights everywhere,
it's a rainbow bubble.
That would have been the best thing ever.
All right, so.
But don't do it. I'm looking at you, in particular you, because I know you. Don't do it.
All right, otherwise, you could definitely follow us on YouTube/FansPOV. We're definitely on Twitter under the Fans POV. We do have a Facebook page. Facebook is still a thing, apparently.
Let me guess, is it the Fans POV?
I'm definitely saying it's the Fans POV. I'm going ahead and assume it's the Fans POV.
That is miraculous.
That is mind-blowing.
I would never have guessed.
Yeah, but definitely follow us. We'll definitely.
We have the medias. Follow the medias.
Yeah, we'll definitely throw your shenanigans our way.
Beware
but
of the media?
Serious shenanigans. So we'll definitely keep updated as far as anything that goes on in cons or anything like that. Otherwise, the next time we will see you would actually be in Atlanta, Georgia for Dragon Con 2013, which will be amazing from what the hype is going on about.
If you think Otakon is serious business,
Dargans are bigger.
You don't know Dragon Con.
Dargans are large.
Yeah, they kind of take up a lot of space. So otherwise,
Dargan's eating all that Georgia peach.
So otherwise, this has been Ricardo,
Lee,
and Jolly
of the Fans POV saying,
the more you know.
Good night.
Good evening.
This time, I wonder what it feels like to find the one in this life, the one we all dream of, but dreams just